Hello everyone, so I am back with another tutorial video, and today I'm going to be showing you the long-awaited tutorial, which is how to boil wash doll hair. So as I mentioned in my rerooting video, dolls come with different types of hair, so you're going to have different temperatures of water. Different temperatures of water basically will yield different results with different hair types. So here's a clone Totsie doll, and she's a Barbie clone basically, and she has nylon hair. And as I mentioned before, it's that sort of plasticky, frizzy hair, or hair that tends to get frizzy. And then we have Kanekalon hair, which as you can see is really puffy on this. I think she's 1998 tie-dye Barbie. She has had a rebody, she has had a body swap. So I will actually show you how to, because she was on a body with a thicker neck. So I'll show you, as you can see now her head is loose, so I'll show you how to shrink her neck hole. And then we have this Chinese New Year Barbie. I think that's what she was called. And I recently took out her original hairstyle, and that's what her hair looks like now. But first thing you're going to want to do is you're obviously going to want to wash your dolls before you do the boil wash, because that's gross to just throw them in the boil wash water. So you definitely want to clean your dolls head to toe, remove any kind of clothing, any kind of hair accessories that they might have in for this technique to work. So I will go ahead and wash the dolls. So here I have them over the sink, so I'm going to do her hair first. All these dolls are actually already clean, so what I'm going to basically just be doing is putting conditioner in the hair. I had this doll's hair braided because I wanted to keep her hair nice until I got around to boil washing it. But as you can see, now this doll I used my dog brush on, or a cat brush, the bristle brush that you can use. And fortunately it took out most of the bulk, actually the majority of it. And it actually didn't frizz her hair that much. I will probably have to go in with a flat iron because you can see the ends of her hair are kind of fuzzy. So basically, get your water to a decent temperature. And I'm just using this conditioner. So, wash your doll's hair. Get some conditioner out. Now, depending on how dry your doll's hair is, will depend on how much conditioner you're going to need. And you just basically work that in. So I'm just going to do this one doll, and it's going to be the same technique. You might want to comb through the hair while the conditioner is in there. Since her hair is really dry, I'm actually going to need more conditioner in there. And so your dolls might shed some hair, it's okay. So I'm actually going to use this Barbie comb. This came out of my Pearl Princess Barbie. Just comb it from, not from root to tip, but from tip to root, because you want to untangle all the hair at the bottom first and work your way up. Because obviously if you start up here and you try to rip, you see it catching, you're going to rip out clumps of doll hair, and you don't want that. She's kind of got a little fuzziness. It's taking me a little longer to brush her hair out since it's so fuzzy. I think that just about does it. So her hair is now all brushed out, and I will come back when I have the other ones done. Okay, so I am back. I've gotten all the dolls cleaned. Now, depending on your personal preference, some dolls I like to work with removed from their bodies. So I actually got another doll here. I have this Hannah Montana, which has Kanekalon hair, because I also wanted to show you guys how to get bangs to stay down. This doll's already had her hair boil washed once, but it was back then when I didn't really know how that well. So I figured this is my method. This is just the method I find works easiest for me. Definitely do research and decide what method is best for you. Some people heat up bowls of water in the microwave and do it that way. I just find it's more tedious because you have to keep heating the water up. Whilst with this, the water stays warm. Now with the bowl in the microwave, when you do it that way, you can actually leave your dolls on the sides of the container or whatever you're using to, you can let them sit in the boil wash water. Well, when you do this way, it requires you to have to hold on to the doll, because otherwise, if you leave your doll just sitting there on the stove, she's going to melt. So basically what I'm going to do is comb through her hair while rinsing her in the boiling water. And as you can see, her hair is already starting to go straight. Now this is the one that has the nylon hair. And as you can see, it's not really taking out the bulkiness of it. So basically what you do with the hair is you rinse it. This one I'm working with her on her body because of the style of hair that she has. And also there's chances that your hand might come in contact with the hot water. My hands have become heat resistant in some areas or in some cases, so I can tolerate a sting from the boiling water, which a lot of other people cannot. So definitely go into this with caution. Don't just go boil washing your dolls without doing your research first. So I will come back when I have completely boil washed this doll. So I've done boil washing the Tatsi doll, and as you can see, it got out most of the bulk that there was, but as you can see, there's still fuzziness in her hair. And that is going to require a flat iron treatment. I highly suggest going over to 1000 Splendid Dolls channel to watch their flat iron tutorial. Because me personally, I don't feel like making a flat iron tutorial video because that will take a long time. And I don't really feel like getting into that right now. So next, we're going to move on to Kanekalon hair. So Kanekalon hair is more responsive to heat. And it tends to go pin straight whenever you boil wash it. So this water, since I was boil washing that other doll and the water that was already in her hair was cold, it kind of caused the bubbles to go away. So you don't want your water to be extremely like bubbly when you're boil washing Kanekalon hair, because you can actually cause the hair to ball up and crease and crimp. And you'll think you've ruined your hair when you haven't. It's completely salvageable. You just choose a low temperature of water that's still hot, and you just rinse and do it that way. I find it helps whenever I separate. Sorry if I'm going off camera over here. Here we go. I usually like to separate the back of the hair and boil wash a side at a time. And as you can see, that hair is now pin straight. I'll do the other side. And you also need to be a good idea to find your doll's hair parting. You can see what I'm doing. There we go. So yes, definitely find your doll's hair parting. Dunk one side in. Comb through it. And I highly suggest leaving at least a little bit of conditioner in your doll's hair when you do this, it's just going to make it so much easier. So you see that side, and then you see this side is still kind of fuzzy, so we'll go in. Now this is all personal preference for me, separating the hair in the back and boil washing it. Personally, whenever I just dunk the whole head in like this, I find that it makes the hair like squiggle inward like that, and I don't really like that. But some people don't mind it, and it's all personal preference. So, since I did that first, since I separated it into 2 sections first, it kind of tames the hair to the side, so then I can lightly dunk it in all at once. And there we go. So now how I deal with bangs is, and this is also to set the style, with Kanekalon hair, it doesn't really take much. So what I'm going to do is comb her bangs out very lightly. And sometimes when you do this, the bangs will stick up, but it's okay. All you have to do is just slick them back down. So I'm literally going to plunge her into the water like this. And some of her bangs right there sticking up, but you just push it back down. And there you have it. So she's done. I will go ahead and do Miss Tie-Dye Barbie here. So again, I'm going to comb through her hair, find her hair parting, and then I'm going to dunk her head into the water to her part line right there, and then pull it out. And you can see it's actually setting the style. See, I like the hair to go down like this, but some people don't mind if the hair has a slicked back look. This is just my preference, and I like to do it this way. So that side of her hair is done. Now I'm going to do the other side. And since I'm doing this on camera, I'm not rinsing my doll's hair in cold water, but I suggest after you do this, you rinse the hair in cold water, like right after you're done boil washing the hair. Yeah, see, some boiling water got in her head, and it kind of just spilled out onto my finger from her head, and I got a little bit of a sting. So that's kind of what happens. You're working with such hot water. I'm actually going to go rinse her head in cold water. And this is what I like to do to also set a style. So if I want the hair to go down, basically what I do is I comb the hair in the desired style, like so. This is just for people who like the hair down like this. So just like with the bangs, you comb your doll's hair into the desired style, and you just dunk it in, barely. Since this is Kanekalon hair and it's more sensitive. After it dries, it should stay in that style. So she's now done. And now we're going to work on Miss Chinese New Year Barbie. So she has saran hair. And saran hair, as well as nylon hair, which is the Totsie doll, it takes more heat to get it to do anything. So I'm actually going to come back when I have her hair, and whenever I have the water boiling. Okay, so the water is starting to bubble now, and I'm just gonna set her hair in there. Now, because of her hairstyle as well, I'm leaving her on her body. And you just set her in there for just a few seconds. And then you comb through her hair. And obviously you're not gonna get a pin straight style like you would with a doll with Kanekalon hair, but it's definitely well worth it. This is also the time when you should fix any chews on your dolls like this, putting their hand in a boiling water to reshape their hands. Now, since she had tiny little gnaw marks, it doesn't really matter how long she goes in. As you can see, that looks a lot better. Do the same with her other hand. There we go. Maybe put that one in for a little longer. And there we have it. Her hand is looking a little better. There's still some gnaw marks, but it's not deformed like it was. So I'm actually going to rinse her in the boil wash water a little bit more. Since it is getting rather to the boiling point, like really strong boiling point, if you will. Just leave her hair in there. Yes, and some water can get on the outside right there, but it'll evaporate, but it'll get on the stove and evaporate. It's all good. There's no harm that's going to come from that. But as you can see, there's her hair. I just find it, depending on what style you want to work with, will depend on the type of way you need to boil wash the hair, like whether your doll needs to be on her body. I find that doing a style like this, like a downward style, is more complicated for me whenever they're attached to their body, because the neck and the body tend to get in the way when you're trying to do that. But anyhow, I will come back when everybody is dried.